is the first Sunday of the 2021 NFL season, man. I am so pumped. Jets winning today. We're going to get into that a little bit. We break down the teams. We're going to take a look at these early games. We're going to bounce through, tell you who's going to win, who you need to start, who you need to sit for fantasy, some sleepers, some targets that you're going to want to utilize. As the show is going, I will bring the chat up and please drop your questions in. I know that's kind of a big thing on Sundays is getting your start-sit questions in. A lot of really juicy matchups. I know myself, I've got like 4 guys sitting on the bench that I am flip-flopping. I've been flip-flopping on all week. So I think I have it set, but I know I'm going to regret it. Somebody is going to go off, and it's tough, right? So drop your questions in as we go. And with that, John, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Happy Sunday to you too. Happy Sunday. You see, wearing that white toilet paper again, so that's good. Haven't received my Mac Jones jersey yet, but soon enough it will be here, and I'll feel like a kid on Christmas morning once I get it.
We'll see if you're going to want to wear it after today.
Yes, that is true. That is very true.
Oh man, it's
very true,
dude. It's nerve-wracking, right? I mean, both of us. When's the last time the Jets and the Patriots were starting rookie quarterbacks to begin the year? That's something we've never even talked about, and
no,
has it even happened?
No, and like we were saying earlier, the text throughout the week, everybody's talking about this class of quarterbacks that ain't it down yet. They could all be busts. I mean, think about it. How many first-round quarterbacks are busts? Probably more busts than superstars. You know what I mean? So it's a little frightening, but pleasantly optimistic at the same time. So this is something new, Patriot fans too. This is the beginning. We knew Cam wasn't the future when he came in, and everybody knows my thoughts on Cam. I love Cam. I do. I just think his throwing days are over. Yes. But now here's potentially the start of a new regime at quarterback. Starting week 1 as a rookie. My thoughts on Bama quarterbacks. I'm not too high on them. In fact, 2 of them are going head-to-head today. Tua versus Mac Jones. So it should be an interesting day. The Jacksonville, not to get off the path here, but would you put money on Jacksonville and Houston today? I would stay away. I'm staying away from that game and all my parlay. I don't know what Houston team's going to show up, and I don't know what Jacksonville team's going to show. So,
I mean, I think it's probably a betting favorite, I would think.
Yeah,
but
Jacksonville's favored by 3.5. I'm sorry, a team that won 1 game last year is favored by 3.5. Yeah. That has the potential to nuke your parlays, the second that game starts. So that's definitely one game I would probably stay away from if you're betting
and
on
also
football
statistically, the last 13 first-round picks have lost their opening game.
Yes.
So, yeah, not 13 out of something, the last 13.
The last 13.
Yeah, so
yes.
Right, like you said, you're going to a bad team. Same, Jets, and they have a lot of hope for the future, but these are teams that, they're young. They had some stuff happen last year. Is Urban Meyer enough to turn the tides? I mean, that Texas team, that's if there's a team for a shitty team to beat, you're set up as they are set up as good as they could possibly be set up.
Yes.
Right? I mean, you can't ask for a nicer matchup for a 1-win team the year before with starting your first round quarterback, first overall pick, than the Houston Texans. I mean, that's bad. So, all right. Well, let's take a look. Let's run through some matchups here while we're waiting.
I'm ready.
So Philly at Atlanta. This is a game for fantasy-wise, especially DraftKings, I was looking at very heavily, and I was really wanted to pick on this game. The bad thing is I can't figure out where to go with this game, right? So if Jalen Hurts balls out, nobody. I don't know who's going to own him. Super friendly play there and cheap, but
Right.
we don't know who he is, right? And now with Julio gone, like, we haven't seen Calvin Ridley take the full number one yet. Is he ready for that? Is Kyle Pitts going to be what Kyle Pitts is going to be, right? What we expect him to be. I mean, there's two. If you were to go with Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley, and Kyle Pitts in a DraftKings or something like that, like that could pay dividends, huge dividends. Come back with Devonta Smith on the other side of that matchup, and if that team with bad defenses it explodes, I mean, you're hitting hard, and that was
Yeah.
one that I definitely looked at very hard, and I don't even know I don't know who's going to win that game, to be honest with you, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Philly wins it. I'm going to say Atlanta at home. But I mean, Matt Ryan's got the experience. He does have better weapons around him. But Jalen Hurts had some games last year that made you stop and go, "Whoa, wait a second! Do they have something here?" And they gave Carson Wentz his walking papers, so they believe too. What do you think? What do you got in this game?
So it's funny you say that because in DraftKings I took Devontae Smith and Kyle Pitts because of their prices, to be quite honest. I stayed away from the other receivers only because they were a little bit high. Ridley
Yep.
was actually, 75 or something like that, or 7,400. So I kind of stayed away from that. But I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I'm starting Devontae Smith in two other fantasy leagues as well. I think he's going to get really do. Now, who's going to
Yeah.
win? I think Atlanta. I think Atlanta's there at home. I think if Philly was at home, I'd probably be leaning towards Philly a little bit. But I got to go with Atlanta on this one.
Yeah. All things being equal, give it to the home team, basically.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to argue, and it's hard to say otherwise because you just don't know these teams. This game's going to tell a lot about what these teams are going into this
Yes.
year. Like the matchup, isn't great. There's nothing difficult about it, but you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn a lot
Oh,
about what these teams
yeah.
are, what these offenses are going to look like. I think is the biggest thing. I don't think the defenses are going to be good on either team this year again, but the offenses are what carry a lot of teams in the NFL nowadays. So you're going to find out. So,
Yeah.
all right. So I'm going with Atlanta as well. So that's two for the home team, which is one of the few games that I think we have Atlanta actually winning this
Yes.
year. So next up, this is a big one. We go from unimportant to very important. Pittsburgh at Buffalo. I mean, this is huge. I mean, to say like what a swing from the first game to the second game, but I mean, this is where Buffalo's going to show up. I mean, you're coming right out the gate hot. You don't get any warm-up games. You don't get any gimmies. You know, you're getting thrown right into the fire against a team that knows how to win, that's been there for the last 15 years, at the top of their division or competing for the top of their division. So this team knows how to play. Ben Roethlisberger knows how to play. You don't have the weather to help you out there with the cold and the snow and everything that does give Buffalo a little bit of an edge there for the home guys. But I mean, you've got Ben. He's old, but the defense, Pittsburgh, John, you love them, right? So they've got a really good defense. They brought back their receiving core. Claypool set up to have a huge year as well, taking over there. Really coming into his own now in year two. So excited to see that with Juju, with Deontay Johnson. They've got a nice core. And John, our boy, I'm not much of an Alabama fan, but Harris is
Mr.
he
Harris.
is
Yes.
he is an absolute monster, right? Just an athletic freak. I mean, you shouldn't be able to hurdle grown men. You just shouldn't. But he does it. Like, they're not even diving. They're just squaring up to tackle him, and he just jumps over them. It's just incredible. So, an athletic ability, just incredible across the board. But Buffalo, I mean, Josh Allen, he went off last year. I mean, he really put his name in as one of the premier quarterbacks in the league really put the league on notice on, hey, I'm here and I've got something to prove. So can he build on that? Is he going to take that next step into, the Mahomes, Brady, Rodgers, type of tier that says, hey, when we need to win, give me the ball, right? We saw Brady do it Thursday night. That's the thing that you have with those quarterbacks. Rodgers, Brady, Mahomes, you give them the ball with a minute and 40 seconds left, you're not sweating, right? So 90% of the quarterbacks in this league, under 2 minutes, you're kind of screwed, right? You don't know what you're going to get. So thank you. I think the Bills are going to be a great team. So Stephon Diggs is going to go crazy. Their running game is a question, but they got Emanuel Sanders as well this year. So the receiving core doesn't really take a hit with John Brown leaving. I don't know. I mean, this is a tough game to predict as well. I think the offense for the Steelers, weapons-wise, is better, but the quarterback is different, right? So I give Josh Allen the edge now over Big Ben, but the receiving core and running back in Pittsburgh is better, and the defenses are kind of equal, I think. So
what's crazy is Zach
where do you
Moss
go?
is a healthy scratch today. Healthy
Really?
scratch today. Yes. So, I think Emmanuel Sanders is out, I believe. So, I still think the Bills are going to win. I could be wrong, but I think Pittsburgh's O-line will have a tough time against that front four against Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Bills are going to win by 10, to be quite honest. I know the line's 6.5, but I think with that at home and what's going on with Buffalo, I think you'll see a lot of Cole Beasley. I think a lot of Diggs. I mean, you can try and cover Diggs, but it just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So Beasley will have 15 receptions today. So and Josh Allen can run. The guy can run. So I think it's going to be a good game for a while. I think it will open up towards the end, and you'll see him win by 10-ish. 10-ish.
10-ish. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see. So Emmanuel Sanders is active as of right now.
I thought he was out for COVID, or did he?
No, he had a foot injury, but it says foot active.
Okay.
But yeah, they do have Gabriel Davis there as well, who had a nice showing. That Zach Moss thing, I'm scrolling through the updates on the active list, and Zach Moss, team decision inactive. Why? He's your backup running back. Why?
Yeah.
Why would? That's interesting. Hey, get rid of him then if you don't want.
So is Trey Sermon, I believe. I know we're not there yet, but I believe Trey Sermon's a healthy scratch today as well.
Yep, he is. That's another.
So there's there's their backup running back. So what's kind of going on? So
very, very interesting there. Oh man, what's up, Alex? Good morning, man. Yes, football is back. Oh, Ricky, here we go. Jags defense or Carolina? Woo. All right, so. I mean, this is a little close to my heart, so I'm gonna.
Would you like me to answer it?
I mean, we'll both. I'm gonna say the Jags defense just because I think the Texans are that bad, and I think a lot of people are underselling, and we'll get to it when we get to the Jets. But I think a lot of people are underselling because Robert Saleh is a first-time head coach that he doesn't know what he's doing. Like he ran one of the best defenses in San Francisco for years. And I know we're not talking about Jets defense, but the Jets defense will dictate where the Jets offense starts from. And if they can play the way that Robert Saleh had a lot of no-name guys in San Francisco playing, the field position is going to be very good. And Zack Wilson has the athletic ability to score points. I think if you're looking at the opposing offenses to those, it's Zack Wilson versus Tyrod Taylor. So who do you feel better going against as a defense? I would go against Tyrod before I went against Zack Wilson. So if it's me, I'm going the Jags defense, but we'll see what you've got there.
I would probably take Carolina, and here's why. You got a rookie quarter road. Carolina went all D about a year ago, didn't they? So they got 2 years of pretty good D under their helms. Um, I think Carolina's going to control the ball a lot today with McCaffrey. See a huge dose of Christian McCaffrey, as why wouldn't you?
They are.
And I think the Jets will be playing from behind a little bit, if I had to guess. So that means more potential for mistakes. That's the only thing. And in his first game,
Yeah.
I still don't like the fact. I mean, it's his first game and the coach's first game, and there's nobody behind poor Zack Wilson to kind of grab him and say, "Hey, man, it's okay." When I say that, I mean no other quarterback to be like, "It's okay." Kind of like with New England today. What's going to happen there? What's going to happen?
Well,
but
as we talked about that real quick, we talked about the number one quarterbacks losing 13 straight. The last 4 Jets quarterbacks have won their opening game. Rookie quarterbacks. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, Carolina does have a good defense, but I just think Zack Wilson is a better quarterback than Tyrod Taylor on a better team. It might be slightly better, but it is better. They both have pretty good defenses. So
now I would take Corey Davis all day long over Jerry Jeudy. That
absolutely.
I will. Because I think Corey Davis is going to be his binky. I do. Corey Davis is going to be his binky this year.
Yes, they have formed a great 1-2 punch there, and he looks for Corey Davis first and second, and then he goes off of that. So I do like Jerry Jeudy this year a lot to take a huge step forward, but I think Corey Davis in this game, especially if they're behind, my God, he's going to have 10, 11 catches in this game. So if you're playing in a PPR, I mean, Jerry Jeudy's got a couple other people to compete against, plus a really nice 1-2 punch in the running game, so they can control that game on the ground. Corey Davis, though, like you said, it's either going to be tight or they're going to be playing from behind, and he's going to get peppered, absolutely peppered.
Yep.
So Corey Davis all day, Ricky. Put it on the board. Just forget about it. Just lock that one in. Move on to your other ones. So I hope that helps, and I hope you win. Hopefully you've hit that subscribe button, so you make sure to come back next week. Tell us either give us a wrath of shit for getting completely wrong, or just a quick little thank you. So, all right, so let's take a look at what's next. So you're saying Buffalo 10-ish, right? Let's close this
Buffalo.
one out. I'm going to say Josh Allen beats them, but I think it's going to be very close. Probably come right down to the end because the Steelers do that on the road. So. Very close, but I'm going to give it to Buffalo. Maybe a field goal. Maybe just hold it off with like a 1-point win type of thing, and the defense holds them at a field goal range or something like that. Something crazy. So, all right. Next up, Minnesota at Cincy. How's Justin feeling about Cincinnati this year?
So the text he sent me earlier, he texted me and he said, "Today's the day you get to witness the greatest show on 1 p.m. in the jungle." And I said, the Pats play at 4:25. I thought that's what he was talking about.
Oh, man.
Good luck today. And he said, thank you, an eye out for Megatron. That's his T. Higgins thing. Good morning and happy football.
Okay.
Hey, Bars in the Talk. How you doing? 2-quarterback league. Hurts is locked in. Do I go Burrow or Wentz? Man, I'll tell you what, I'm going – I'm Joe Burrow here, man. I think you're going to see a lot of passing on that end. And even if Mixon is scoring, I think it's because he's dropping back and dumping it to Winston. Not Winston, Mixon, I'm sorry. Carson Wentz, a little – I mean, who's he throwing to? Honestly, who is he throwing to?
No real rushing upside with his foot injury. I think they're going to keep him grounded.
Yes.
You can't afford to lose him, especially coming off of that Liz Frank injury. Like that, not a chance. So Burrow, especially with a Higgins stack, my God, like that's nice. I want to see what Chase is going to do. Like we talked about binkies, like that was his binky in college, and I wonder if that. I have a feeling it's going to be a big Jamar Chase day because he dropped 3 of his 4 passes in the preseason. Everybody's like, oh, is he going to be a good wide receiver? Can he catch the ball? But all this, I think Joe Burrow is going to put that to sleep. He's going to go back to his binky, but Higgins he had a great year last year. They formed that rookie rapport as well. So that's going to be his 1-2 right there is Higgins and Chase. And I'm sorry, I think Boyd's going to kind of slip down to the number 3 on his favorite list just because of that comfort level. But definitely, bars definitely go with Joe Burrow there with that Higgins stack. That is in a 2-quarterback league. That's going to be money. And we just talked about Hurts to open the show. That defense is that's a nice play because that has the potential to score you a ton of points. That Atlanta defense is terrible. Should be a shootout. I hope you got Devonta Smith to match up with him because that's going to be nice. It's going to be explosive. So good luck with that. Put Burrow in. Come back. Let us know if you ended up winning week 1.
And there's another question here: Gesicki or Gerald Everett? So here's my thought on it. I'm a Pats fan. What's Belichick going to do? He's going to take away, I think, to his dump-off guy, and that's going to be Gesicki, to be quite honest. I would go Gerald Everett. The Rams are going to have a sick passing attack, and that ball's going to be slinging. The ball's going to be slinging. So I would start Gerald Everett, to be quite honest.
Everett's in
Seattle.
Seattle.
Sorry, yeah. So
yeah, if I got Russell Wilson throwing against
Indy.
Against Indy, yeah,
Yep.
They got. I mean, it's not a great tight end. I mean, the middle of the linebackers and safeties for Indy's pretty good. Their corners are kind of questionable, but I'd feel better with a one-on-one. But if I'm going Russell or Tua, I'm going to go with Russell on this one. And I think Fitzmagic hit Gesicki a lot more last year than Tua did. So Gesicki had nice numbers, but I think he was stronger with Fitzy than he was with Tua.
Yep.
So, and I like that. I like that Lord Shiva. That must be the league reference there. I hope if you ever watched the league, the Shiva was the trophy there. Anyway, all right. So Bengals. Yeah, I think this game is. I am not high on Minnesota, and Minnesota fans have let me know that I'm dead wrong. But I don't trust Kirk Cousins. I do think the offense has outstanding pieces with Thielen and Jefferson, and you've got Dalvin Cook in the backside there just tearing stuff up. But I just don't trust Kirk Cousins, and the defense is beatable. So not saying Cincinnati has a great defense, but I like both offenses a lot. I don't like Joe Mixon. I'm sorry, Justin, if you're watching, but I'm not a fan. He's soft. He gets hurt a lot, and he's just not somebody that when I give the ball to, I feel comfortable. Cook, he could change the game by himself. But I don't trust Kirk Cousins. I don't know what Joe Burrow is coming off this injury. We've seen him take, one series and make one pass in the preseason, so no idea what he really looks like coming out. We'll see what happens when he gets hit, but I'm going to go with the Bengals. I'm giving the Bengals the opening day win. I think I know it's crazy, but I Justin, you might not like the mixing comment, but you probably like that. I'm going Bengals upset.
I'm going Minnesota.
It is a home game.
I don't like Cincy's D. I think about more than they can score. Just me. I think it's going to be a rather high-scoring game, to be quite honest. But I just don't see Cincy's D doing it. I don't trust them yet. I trust Minnesota's awful D from last year a little more.
All right. So here's an easy one. We don't have to spend too much time on this. San Francisco at Detroit. This should be a shellacking, right? I mean, what do you think? The defense is...
I'm going to go out on a limb. Against Detroit this year, I'm taking. I don't care if it's
Houston. You taking Houston over him?
With Tyrod Taylor, I would. I would. I truly would.
I mean, there's people that I like. I mean, there's really one person I like on Detroit. And it's Swift. Like DeAndre Swift is probably the best player on that team, but they're going to be behind so much that I don't know what he's actually going to get to do with the ball this year. So that's going to be tough. But I think San Francisco's defense just smothers Jared Goff. The wide receivers, like we talked about, I don't know who they have. So Amon-Ra St. Brown could be a really nice sleeper to grab for cheap in daily. He's going to be really cheap. So You can grab him because if they're behind and they're throwing the ball a lot, you might get 10 catches out of a $3,000 guy there for DraftKings. Might be something where you really get your money's worth out of, and nobody's going to own. So that's a way to look here with with 30 minutes left before kickoff. Throw him and Ross St. Brown in a DraftKings lineup, and then send me $75 as a thank you. So, but yeah, I think San Francisco all day. I mean, it'll probably be over at halftime, and it'll just be junk time. So don't start your San Francisco guys because they're probably, unless you got Mozart, because he's going to be doing work.
Yeah, I think Mozart will be the guy. That would be the only guy I'd take. Don't take Jimmy G. I mean, there may be some Trey Lance. There may be a lot of Trey Lance today.
Oh, right out the gate, huh?
You never know.
Oh, nice. All right. So yeah, not too much to talk about there. Arizona at Tennessee. Now this is one that's got some firepower built into it. What do you think on this one? I mean, Kyler Murray versus your boy Tannehill. You got some both really nice offenses. Obviously, the tilt goes to the Titans on the running side, but defenses kind of on par, I think. Right? Nothing. There's no real differentiating pieces on each side that really catapults one above the other. I feel like they're pretty equal, all things being similar. So, Kyler, better running quarterback than Tannehill, a lot more explosive. Henry's way better than anything we've seen from Chase Edmonds, so we don't know what we've got there. He's getting his real first shot to be a premier running back, so we'll see there. But the wide receivers, I've got to give it to Arizona with Hopkins over A.J. Brown. I think is better, close but better. And they've got Rondell Moore, which we like a lot. Jim likes A.J. Green, nice depth move there as well. So
don't forget Julio.
And
you go there.
I don't believe in Julio, but yeah, that's true.
Julio has only had how many catches the last 10 years? Okay.
I know.
I get it. You're not a Julio fan. That's okay.
Not a Julio fan. All right. So what do you think?
I think it's going to be Tennessee. I mean, they're not going to have an answer for Derrick Henry. I'm not sold on Arizona's D just quite yet. Is Chandler Jones the same Chandler Jones, or is he not? I don't know. There's been so much talk about him playing, not playing, what's going on. He wanted a trade earlier. Yeah, they brought in J.J. Watt. I get it. But, I mean, is he going to play the whole game? I don't know. I mean, what's the temp going to be down in Tennessee? Not that it's cold in Arizona, but first week of the game, Tennessee's probably going to be hot and humid if I had to guess. So he decide.
Yeah,
Tannehill's numbers.
Town, so.
Right, but it's a different heat. I mean,
yeah.
We both lived in Arizona, and I lived down south, and I will take Arizona heat any day. But anyways, I hate Ryan Tannehill. You know my hate, but I'm going to give him credit. His numbers since he got to Tennessee resembles Pat Mahomes. They just it's quite frightening because of who Derrick Henry opens that up for him. I'm going Tennessee. I think the spread's 3.5. You can double that. I think, to be quite honest with you.
Okay, so you think it's going to be just a blowout?
I wouldn't say a blowout, but I mean, by a touchdown at least, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, I don't even remember which way I went in this game in our preseason, but
Gotcha.
I'm going to give the tilt to Kyler Murray. I think he's going to step it up, and they're going to play.
You love
lights
Kyler
out.
Murray. You love Arizona.
I do. I'm a believer in Kyler, and I love Hopkins there. So if the offense can get rolling in Arizona and keep Derrick Henry contained as far as his availability to touch the ball, I think that's going to be big. So that's the big key is make Derrick Henry, make them throw the ball to keep up, not run the ball and dictate the offense and the rhythm of the game. So, all right, we got another question here. Gaskin, Pittman, Henderson. I'm guessing this is for a flex in PPR. That man, that's a tough one.
Boy.
I'm leaning
I mean,
Gaskin or Pittman.
see, I'm actually looking at
What are you
Henderson.
looking?
That's what's funny. So,
Yeah.
Sony Michel isn't a receiver out of the backfield. So any type of um, passing. Tommy, I love Chenault this week. Love him.
Mm-hmm.
But Gaskin, Pittman, or Henderson. So Pittman's the number one, right? So Pittman's going to be the number one in Indy. You know that.
Yeah.
Gaskin, are they going to run the ball against New England? Is Tua going to throw it to his running back? That we don't know. Oh boy.
I would go Pittman, I think. Just because you don't it's too hard to dictate or try to project what that game is going to turn into between the Dolphins and the Patriots. I mean, you don't know which way it's going to go, and if the Patriots take that lead, they're going to go into throw mode, and they're going to lean on their receiving core that they have, and it's a nice receiving core. So I would go Pittman. I think, John, you made a good point. He's the number one there. That game we're expecting that game to be somewhat pretty close, pretty competitive.
Yeah.
And you've got a number one. You got to lean on your number one. I don't know about Henderson. He's just never shown that explosive playability. He's had a couple of nice games, but they didn't really feature him enough in Los Angeles to really give me any kind of comfort in going with him and putting him in the flex. So I would go with Pittman. So, and Alex would go with Gaskin. So I think everybody's off of Henderson except for John. So yeah, take that advice for what you will.
Thanks for the help. Pick 2, full point PPR, Barkley, Jacobs, Darrell Henderson. So
full point PPR.
So I got Barkley in one of my fantasy leagues, and I'm leaving him in there just in from everything it sounds that he's going to be limited. But I'll tell you what, not leave him in my lineup. I'm doing it just to do it. So that would be one of mine. And now you're talking Vegas at home. Yeah, I'm going to say Josh Jacobs.
That game's going to be money. So Barkley will be limited, but
how limited
is a limited Barkley is still better than Darrell Henderson?
Yep,
I think so.
Now, Tyson Williams. I mean, somewhere right now. He's been there all camp. They signed 2 other people. So, I mean, he may be a big surprise. I just don't know enough of him if he's going to catch passes out of the backfield or not. You know what I mean? That's what would worry me. I don't know. That Baltimore running back situation is tough. You know what I mean?
I just leave it alone. I just left it alone. I don't want any part of it. They didn't use the running back enough last year anyway, and now you're going down to your third string guy.
Yeah, and a rookie. And I believe the kid's a rookie, isn't he? So
right. So I'd go Jacobs and roll it with Barkley. I mean, the explosive abilities there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm rolling it with Barkley. If you want to know what I would do, Steven, that's kind of what I'm doing, to be quite honest with you. So,
and then right below that, Ryan's question: would you start T. Higgins or Josh Jacobs in the flex?
T. Higgins.
You think so?
Yep.
You going?
That's
T?
what I would go. I would go T.
That's a tough one. But I think, I mean, I like, we talked about, we expect that game to be kind of a shootout. So T. Higgins is a nice play there. Josh Jacobs has the ability to put up 100 yards, but he doesn't really do a lot in the receiving side. So, I don't know if you're playing, Ryan, I don't know if you're playing in a PPR league or not. But I'd probably lean T.
Yeah.
Let's see. So what do you think for me then? Full PPR, Sermon out, Barkley or Mostert against the Lions? Oh, Mostert. All day.
Yep. He's going to run the ball all game long. What do you got? What's his face is his backup probably, right? I don't know his name. Jermichael. Hold on, I'm looking it up real quick. I should know this, but Jermichael Hasty. Mostert is going to run the ball all game long. In fact, I just picked up Mostert, and that's why I've been looking down a little bit in my DraftKings. I'm adding Mostert now because it's crazy.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there. Steven, I think that's going to be the right choice. And like I said, make sure you subscribe and come back next week. Let us know how you did if you want. I definitely want to. I want to hear if the advice that we're giving is actually good. If not, just come back and yell at us. Tell us we're a bunch of idiots.
Just tell us we suck, but just so you know, I do have Barkley in some of my leagues, and he is started for me because I don't have Mostert or I don't have other people to put in. So I honestly took him in the third round in one of my leagues, and I have to play him because I went wide receiver. So,
yep. All right. So let's have some more questions come in. Let's get back to our round out. So Seattle at Indy. That's going to be. Yep. We're just kind of touching on Indy, Seattle. This game is going to be fun to watch, right? Indy is. I don't think they're going to be that good of a team, but I also think Seattle's probably going to take a little bit of a step back, which a lot of people probably think I'm crazy, but I think it's going to happen. There's a lot of turmoil going on up there, and I know they're putting a lot of it to bed, but it just seems like that division is really tough, and Russell Wilson gets hit way too much. So. We'll see how that one plays out, but Indy, like you said, Pittman should have a big game today. Jonathan Taylor is going to go off. I think they're going to limit Wentz. Anything they're going to try and keep the pressure down. They're going to run the ball. A lot of dump offs to him as well. I think absolutely going to go. He's going to be the guy that you want to target. If you don't have Pittman, who's the number one, which depending on how deep your bench is. Question that, but Seattle's defense is not very good. Hasn't been for a while. Their corners are weak as well, so I would feel comfortable with Pittman, and I'd feel comfortable with Taylor, but Wentz does make me nervous very much. On the other side, Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. DK Metcalf is going to be unstoppable today. That's going to be my prediction. He is going to go ballistic against that Indy defense, and you've got nice receivers everywhere there. And you got Chris Carson as well, who's going to soften up that defensive line and hopefully, but I think Seattle takes this one pretty comfortably.
I agree. I mean, it's hard to bet against Russell Wilson in week one. And I want to say Seattle's like 13-2 or something in their last 15 games. Traveling like west of somewhere. I heard some crazy stat yesterday. So
west of the 67th,
west of the Mississippi. I don't even know if that's west of the Mississippi. No, it's not, is it? So, I don't know. Going Seattle, I think a healthy Chris Carson so far is going to stop DK and lock it. To be quite honest with you, we talked about Everett earlier in the tight end slot. Yeah. The O-line, I don't know, they predict line to be a little bit better. That D is always scary regardless of what anybody says to them. They just always come to play. Right. And again, going to throw to, I'm assuming you're going to see a very healthy dose of Taylor, especially with that offensive line in Indy. So, but I'm taking Seattle. I'm taking Seattle on this one, yeah.
So Thomas's questions, who's your core four for daily? That's
so. I'm assuming you're talking about
who you're building
DraftKings, right?
yeah, for daily. So I'll tell you, McCaffrey. He's the most expensive, but he's a must start. He's your chalk play, and you've got to pay up for him. I like Elijah Moore a lot this week, and Corey Davis. I like both of them. One of the either way, whichever way it goes. I would play one of those two because I think that's going to go off. And Elijah Moore is really, really cheap. I like a lot of the rookies. I like Waddle. I like Chase. They're cheap, and their explosive abilities in the offense are incredible. I also think DK Metcalf, like I just said, is going to go off. I know he's expensive, and that's going to be hard to fit in. But it is nice. And I like Washington's defense. They're cheaper. They're on the lower end, but I think that could be a very nice play. I know, Alex, you're not going to like that against the Chargers, but the Chargers are traveling to the East Coast. I said this last year. They're playing the early game. I know, being here in Washington, that I'm still pretty tired, and I'm not getting ready to play a football game in 10 minutes. So if I had to fly to the East Coast, I would probably, I feel like it has an effect. It has to have an effect, and you're playing a very tough defense. So we'll see what the young kids got, what that team has got overall. I know Eckler's dealing with injury as well. We'll see what he's got, but I like the Washington defense, and we'll get to that one here actually right now because we have the Chargers and Washington football team up. So to expand on that, I know Alex is saying he's a full go, but I know he's still dealing with some kind of thing, some kind of leg injury there. All right, so Herbert, can he expand on what he did last year, right? Is he going to have that sophomore slump, or is he going to continue to progress, right? I mean, he came out of nowhere. Nobody expected it. Can he continue to build on it? Keenan Allen is still Keenan Allen. He can't be stopped. So that's going to be fun to watch. Austin Eckler, I love Austin Eckler last year. I thought he was absolutely going to be a difference maker, and he missed the whole year being hurt pretty much. So that really sucked. And then on the other side, what is Fitzmagic going to do it? Is he finally going to reclaim that throne and be kind of what Buffalo thought he was, what the Jets thought he was, and go from there? So what do you think? Who do you got for this?
Me, I got Washington for all the cases that you just said and their defense. Yeah. Eckler doesn't worry me too much. I think he'll have a big game. But I see Washington, to be quite honestly. That D is insane. Yes. Real quick to get if I get those three, I would either go Sanders or Chenault. I'd stay away from any receiver that has to get a ball thrown to him from Daniel Jones.
Yes.
And quite honestly, I would take Sanders, man. Look, he's done when he's been given time, and he's the back there, and he catches the ball out of the backfield. I think it's a great PPR spot.
Absolutely in the flex. And
Corey
against
Davis,
that Atlanta defense, Sanders. Definitely Sanders there.
Absolutely. I would do that too. So I have Corey Davis in every single one of my DraftKings this week, and I started him over. And so no, you're not crazy. It's a full PPR, and I'm telling you, Davis is going to be what Devontae Smith to Philadelphia. I think he's going to be the dump off guy, and he's going to run like crazy.
Right, but on top of that, Corey Davis was like 6 yards shy of 1,000-yard receiver last year. So you already know what you know what you got.
Right?
He was the the fifth pick in the draft. The year he was drafted anyway. Like, he was the top receiver drafted. He just took him a while. So
my favorite question. Thanks, Greg. Yep. Let us know how we did Greg, for you, man.
Please come back.
Greg, I would go with Miles Sanders, to be quite honest. Go Browns. Ooh, yeah, I'm telling you, that's a trap game for Kansas City this week, I think.
Yeah. Greg, if you watched our playoff prediction show, this guy with the New York jersey on has the Browns winning the Super Bowl. So go back, check that one out. You're going to like that a lot. So, and please, if you're new and watching this, please hit that subscribe button. We're coming up on 100, which is really, really our first milestone that we're trying to hit. So please help us get there today. And please come back next week and let us know how you did in week 1. Definitely want to hear that. Hopefully the advice that we're giving helps, and if you win big in DraftKings off of it, hook it up. Just a quick thanks will do as well. So, all right. So let's. I got to talk about the Jets, though. I can't get through this without talking Jet stuff, right? So Jets. Well,
we got 7 minutes, so we got 5 minutes to talk Jets.
We got a few minutes. So
come on,
somebody, what do you think?
Break in.
Zack Wilson. Alex is saying it right there. I think he's got to be talking about Zack. So. Zack Wilson this week. What do you think? I mean, is it going to continue? Are they going to continue to call the plays? I like how they've played it early, getting the ball out fast, giving him some rollouts, giving him some positions to succeed in. But do you think there's a chance that they could topple the Panthers? I've been noticing that line is dropping. It started at like 6.5. It's now down to, last I saw was 5. I don't know if it dropped more than that.
Enough now.
Wow.
But
so the bettors are going. The money's going on New York.
Started to yes, absolutely. Yeah. Is there a chance? Of course there is. Because you don't know how to game plan for him. I know there's
Yeah.
zero tape
Yeah.
on him, just like Mac Jones today and Lawrence. You don't know what you're getting yet, but I
Hmm.
still Jets D. To be quite honest with you, I still look at the Jets secondary, and I'm telling you,
It
if you want
is
to
the weak
reach in
link.
DraftKings, I mean, look at the deep threat there for their receivers. To be quite honest with you, I think Carolina's going to have a big day offensively. Not saying that the Jets won't, but
Yeah.
who's going to run the ball for the Jets and kind of control the ball? It's just
Yeah.
not there,
I don't
man.
know.
It's just not there. Like I said, the next couple of years are going to be growing pains for New York. I think they're going to get better, but I think you're going to see a huge dose of CMC so Darnold doesn't have to win or lose the game, and that's what's going
Yep.
to be the difference.
I think Christian McCaffrey is going to be very hard to contain.
Yes.
I still think the Jets' defensive line, even with Carl Lawson falling out, is still going to be strong. But they did lose a huge piece with that, and Christian McCaffrey is a talent in
Yeah.
within himself. So
I mean,
very
he's
hard.
a maniac.
He really is. So that's going to be tough. I hope to see some Michael Carter explosions out of there because in college he was phenomenal. His ability to cut and explode is something else. Just fun to watch, almost like a young Le'Veon Bell. Watching
Yeah.
his college stuff, it's really good. I'm interested to see what Elijah Moore is going to do today. I think the offense has a lot of potential, and I'm still going to pick the Jets to upset and surprise a lot of people. I've watched too much Sam Darnold to feel comfortable saying that Sam Darnold's going to do anything. I mean, he just
You
makes a lot
notice
of
that,
bad
Alex?
decisions.
You notice that, Alex? The Newton jersey and the
It's put
Cam
to bed.
picture next to a chessboard. Yeah.
Hunt or
Hunt or
Juju for
Juju and the
flex.
flex.
I'm
Honestly,
going
just
Hunt.
see, I'm going Juju just because of playing time. Just because of
Uh,
playing time. I don't think he'll be on the field. Look at last year's playoff game. Hunt got zero love in that game.
and that's
I
why they
would
lost.
I would just I think they lost because they didn't run the ball more. They were trying to throw it. I would, as much as I don't like Juju, I'd probably go Juju just because the amount of touches that's potentially there. I mean, at least he'll
Okay.
be on the field for most of the offensive plays.
So I'm going to say Hunt for this reason. I know we only have a few minutes, but
Yeah,
Hunt because that game is going to be tight, and they're not going to be able to just give it to Chubb and run. It's going to be a very tight game, and they're going to have to keep the offense on the field a lot more, and probably be playing catch up in this one. So if they're behind, I think they have to utilize Hunt in this one, and probably 8 catches, something like that, out of the backfield, a touchdown, and Juju with Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool there, plus Harris in the backfield. Very balanced offense. You can't guarantee Juju's going to really explode. So I like the potential upside of Hunt better than Juju. That's all I'm going to say there. But
thanks, Tommy.
can't go wrong there.
And I would go
That
Singletary. He's the number one back. That's the only reason.
yeah,
I don't trust OBJ. He's a game time decision still. I mean, I'm
right.
sure
Come,
it's come out. I haven't seen any news that he's not playing, but I
yep,
would
go
go
Singletary.
Singletary,
Yep.
especially with Moss as a healthy scratch. There's a
Yeah,
reason why.
he's got it to himself. Go with the number one guy and let it
Yeah,
run. So
yeah.
cool, and that
Let's
puts us
see,
two
we got
minutes
about
out.
2 minutes of questions. 2 minutes of questions.
Yep. So just quickly, without breaking into this, Jacksonville, Houston, last 1 o'clock game. Just give me, who do you got? Jacksonville, Houston, winner.
Hold on. Do I have a quarter? Um,
Flip your cap, see which way it
so
ends. Yeah.
so I'm going to say this because one of my favorite people is a Jacksonville fan, Trevor Lawrence Simmons. So I'm going to go Jacksonville for him today, even though I think Houston's going to win.
Yeah.
Even
All right. I'm going to go Jacksonville as well.
I'm going to say Jacksonville.
I liked what I saw in Trevor Lawrence last week. They finally opened it up a little bit. He got some pressure, and he started really to I think break out of his shell a little bit, so to speak. And he looked good. He looked decisive, sharp, and he looked like he was really running that offense. So I'm going to give the nod to Jacksonville on that one as well. So that rounds it out. We'll see. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. We are now 1 minute away from kickoff for the 2021 regular season. I know we already had one game, but today's when it starts. So good luck in fantasy, either DraftKings or your regular matchups. Please come back next week. Let us know how you did. Hopefully you won it all. Hopefully you placed in the money in DraftKings or FanDuel. So definitely want to see that pop up, a couple $1,000 next to your name. Thanks for the win. So until then, hopefully your team wins and hopefully you take fantasy. So Thomas, I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
Good luck, Tom.
I use him as my source since I can't do DraftKings in Washington, so I send him my picks and he puts them in.
Nice.
Anyway, all right, guys. So have a great Sunday, and we should be back on the other side to kind of recap some games and get ready for the afternoon. So we'll see you guys shortly.